every car has its own unique set of problems. And you'll find this across like any of the different car lines. A bodies, you may get rust in a particular area, and it's kind of indicative of all the brands, either because of design problem or whatever. But on this car, it seems to be in the trunk and quarter panels and bottom of the doors. Seems to be where the rust comes out. Some of these G bodies you've seen, I have anyway, the entire back portion of the frame right here just completely rusted away. For some reason, that's where the rust comes on these cars. And this one's no different. The quarter panels in this car have been replaced. I already knew that, so that was something I was going to have to get into. But taking these body bolts off, I ran into 3 bolts that just would not give up, and I actually ended up having to use a Dremel tool and a cutoff wheel to shear the head off the bolts to be able to get the body up off the frame. And now I got to kind of figure out a way to put it back together without having to tear too much apart. I was really dreading. I mean, I took like 2 days cutting these bolt heads off, just because I was worried about what I was going to find underneath. And I kept stopping and asking people questions, talking to body guys, seeing whether I can get sheet metal, and then I actually got it off and got the body up, and I looked at it. It's not really as bad as I thought it was going to be. So let me show you what I'm talking about. We'll take a look underneath the vehicle, and I'll explain exactly the area I had a problem with. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You got the rear quarter panel, and right underneath, and I've got the frame. I got the frame dropped down here so you can actually see. This is the number 7 body mount bolt, and I've actually installed it back into the what I call a capture nut, which is basically inside the sheet metal here, and it's I guess there are ridges. Honestly, I don't know because I haven't seen inside. There are ridges that keep this thing from being able to turn, so the bolt can actually be threaded in and it's tight, but it does give you movement. So, and this is critical because when you're putting the frame in and you're putting the body on the frame, everybody's going to be a little bit different, and frame may be a little bit different, and you're going to need this wiggle room, I'd like to call it, to be able to line the mount, the bolt, and the hole up on the frame. My problem was the number 6 mount up here. I don't know if you can see this. Let me position my light over a little bit. That's a little bit better. All right, this number 6 bolt up here was rusted out. Now, the metal up here seems to be in decent shape, but right on the inside of here, I don't know, moisture must have got to it or whatever, but it's just whatever was tacked to hold it, to keep it from turning, has busted loose. And it could have just been me hitting it with the impact wrench, gave it the final break, and let it go. So I'm hoping I can save this sheet metal. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the frame back underneath, and I'm going to use this as a guide to get down onto the mount and in the hole. And I'm going to use long all-thread studs for the other bolt mounts in the section of the frame. Raise the frame up to meet the body, and I'll move it around until everything lines up. And when these look like they're dropped right in place where I need them to be, I'm going to take this nut and I'm going to tack it to the sheet metal. And I mean, it's never going to move again, but it'll be in place in a position where I can install this bolt and install the new one and have it actually tightened down without this thing moving around. And I had it on this side. This is number 6, and on the opposite side, on the passenger side, number 6 and 7 were both the same way. It took me a Dremel tool with an extension, and I can't tell you how long, because it took me about 8 of those little Dremel cutoff wheels to get the heads off, to actually get it loose. The rest of them zapped right out, not a problem, but those 3
gave me a headache, and it took me a while. And I was really scared that once I got the frame separated from the body, that all this is just going to be gone. And there is signs of some rust, but it's pretty solid. So I'm hoping I can save most of that, and it shouldn't be an issue. I got to have the quarter panels replaced because whoever did the quarter panel work did a shoddy job, and there's some Bondo around the inside. So maybe when the quarter panels are off, maybe I can see on the inside of this and get an idea of what the heck is going on. Now, taking a look at the body, what you can see is I've taken 2 6x6 boards that I had left over from when I built my shed out back, and I'm using those right on the floor pan to basically hold the body up off the frame so I can get it out. I even took, if you can see, sheet metal. I had a big sheet where the catalytic converter was in the vehicle, and I'm not putting the catalytic converter back on. So I took that heat shield and I cut it into 4 small sections. And I basically have that right underneath the board in between the jack stand and the wood. That way the jack stand wouldn't dig into the wood. Hopefully it will hold it in place a lot better. So I've got that on both ends, and I'm holding up the body with that. And I've got homemade casters, little dollies that I made. Went out to Home Depot and bought 16 casters and nuts and bolts for about 80 bucks. And I had a scrap piece of 3/4 plyboard, just cut into 1 foot by 1 foot sections, and I made my own set of dollies. Why? Instead of buying a pre-made set like from Jegs or something, because I'm a cheap bastard. And basically I think those are like 70 bucks for a pair. So you're talking $140. You put in shipping, like you're 150 bucks by the time you get into the house. Of course, they're nicer. They can hold a lot more weight than these flimsy plyboard ones will. But for what I'm doing, I'm just supporting the frame, not the body. And this is going to come in handy. And honestly, when you got a limited budget, every single penny has to be saved where you can do it. And this is an area where I thought I could do it. So I've got the front and back, all 4 sides at the wheels, or where the wheels were. The drums and the discs are all on these casters, which means that the entire frame now I can roll around. And my plan is to have this far jack stand over here. I'm going to take the entire frame, because I'm doing this alone now. My whole point of this is showing that you can essentially get this entire thing done by yourself. Now, if you got a bunch of friends that don't mind coming over and you can pick this body up and walk it off the frame, or have them pick it up and roll the frame out from underneath, more power to you. But I'm showing you how to do it if you got limited resources and limited manpower. So I've got the jack stands holding up the body, but the jack stands are inside the frame. So how do I get the frame out when the jack stands are in the way? Well, since they're on casters, I'm going to take the entire frame and I'm going to roll it right up to the end of the jack stands on the front and the back. Then I'm going to use my jack, support the beam, take the jack stand out, slide the frame to the inside, put the jack stand back in place, and then repeat the same procedure for this one over here. Support it, slide the frame all the way out, and then put the jack stand back in place. And essentially by like 2-stepping it, slide the entire frame this way and right out of the vehicle over to the other side of the garage. So that is the plan. Now, just got to see if I can do it. Try to keep all my fingers and toes, and everything should work out. Anyway, that's the next move. Big move. Get the frame out, and then I can start stripping the frame down, and that's where all the fun begins.
Oh yeah. Take the gas tank out if you're going to do this. It's causing some clearance problems and I'm too far into it to stop now. We're almost there. It's better to go slow and be careful than to try to rush through this and have something catastrophic go wrong. Alright, sorry. Had to take a quick break, but I'm back. I've got the frame moved outside of my last two jack stands, so all I got to do is let this body down nice and slow and get the jack out of the way, and this baby's free. Hold on. Nice and slow. Make sure I don't have any problems. Okay. Oh. Oh, there you have it. She's out. Whew. I think I've had just about enough for tonight. Always makes me nervous when you're moving something big like this around. Not so much this, but putting that body up off the wood, it's just, I've seen too many people injured and you start moving heavy equipment like that around. You know, people get pinched fingers and broken bones. I just want to be careful. That's my biggest thing. So, took my time, was very careful, got the frame out, been very slow, but it's out. And looks like hell now. But once I get the sandblaster to it and strip all these old lines off, and I got some new stainless lines I'm going to put on it, it's going to look a whole lot better. So, that'll be the next step. Next time you see me, I'll be out in the driveway. I'll have my little breathing mask on and I'll be ready to sandblast. And once I strip all this stuff off this thing, I got to get off the control arms and the calipers and the rear ends going and all the rear control arms and everything. It doesn't need to be on there. Another thing too, I'm going to take these two front pistons off that the bumper hooks to. I want to make sure nothing. I don't want to sandblast those because those are sealed. Outside of that, this is fun. It's the first time I've ever done this. So I was a little nervous, but came out okay. Got it out all right. Body's sitting good. Didn't do anything stupid. Didn't flex the body any kind of weird way. Didn't crack any windows or anything stupid. So it's all good. So now it's just a matter of unbolting all this linkage and old tubes and stuff and hit it with the sandblaster. Anyway, next time I see you, I'll be into it.